a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a vile one. Oh yeah, I'm a vile one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, cause you're watching VileMike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a vile one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, cause you're watching VileMike and his real wild child.
Jafar, buy an SD game swap. Creed.
Howdy, folks. Yes, I'm at the storage unit, and yes, I am taking pictures of crap again to post to the store. So basically, I'm bored, and I want something to distract myself, so I figured if I'm talking to you guys, if there's anyone watching, then I'm not necessarily talking to myself and going crazy. So if anyone is watching, please say so in the comments, because I'm otherwise actually going crazy. And I'm retaking photos of these because I got more Reese's related stuff, including squeaky toy. I know it's reversed, but I did put the link to the StreamYards if anyone wants to come up. And no, I don't actually have like a rant or anything today. And I'm hoping Caddy will show up, because I did try to drag her into it, but she hasn't said anything yet, or she hasn't shown up yet. Oh no. Did my fan just die? If my fan died, I might be leaving sooner than that. Because it is way too friggin' hot to stay up here without a fan. And yeah, the battery appears to be dead. Great! I thought I charged the damn thing. Apparently I didn't. So... yeah, so... first thing, coffee mug. Second thing, socks. Let's see, this one has... cups. Pieces. More pieces. Headphones. And squeaky toy. It's actually, I think, a dog toy, but I'm not gonna... I don't think I'll be advertising that specific fact too much. I'll just be saying, like, toy with squeaker. Yep. I can already feel the sweat dripping down my face. That's how hot it is up here. Hold on. I thought, yeah. Holy hell. Yep. Wow. Summer's in San Diego. I'm sure it'd be worse, like, in Arizona or something, but... oh, fudge. Sorry, just moving the light source closer. Yeah, I'm mostly going to be quiet unless people start saying something in the chat or join up. Because I just wanted to not be bored. I hope that is an artifact and not actually showing up in the photos. And of course, I'm getting a phone call. Let's see if I can pause this. All right, never mind. Come on. Why are you not taking the damn picture? I do like, you can almost fit the squeaker in there. So if like you just needed a temporary lid. Come on, people, say something in the comments so I can have something to respond to. Or at least say something or join up. Because, like, what am I going to talk about other than bitch about the same stuff over and over again? Unless you're just, like, happy seeing me sweat. And that's all you want to see. Maybe I should do one of those, like, fat guy walks or fat guy does something to lose weight streams. Because I've seen those on TikTok and stuff. We finally got someone to actually interact with, so I'm not so pathetic.
Oh no! Oh, gotta get in it. I hate when that happens because it's like it echoes itself, comes back. I'm just like, oh shit. So how you doing, Mike?
Sweating my balls off. It is hot up here.
So am I actually. It's in the 80s here, but we got the humidex. That's what they call it here in Canada. Is close to 50. So fucking damn humidity, man. I can't stand it. Just it's terrible. I don't know. Have you ever lived in Arizona where they have dry heat? I was there for
I haven't
40.
lived there, but my sister lives there, and I've
Yeah.
spent quite a bit of time there.
And what'd you think of the dry heat?
I still would prefer a dry heat to a humid heat, but
Yeah.
it still fucking sucks.
Oh yeah.
Don't let anyone try to tell you that it's like somehow that much really better than otherwise.
Well, I think my wife was Suzanne described it perfectly when I took her down there to visit my folks and some family and stuff. She said, well, she went through the second hottest day we've had ever since I lived there, which was 121 degrees. She said, oh, it just felt like putting my head into the oven and just leaving it there. That was it. And I said, yeah, I know. And then like up here, we reached finally 90, our first 90-degree day Fahrenheit, because I don't believe in that Celsius shit. But anyway, that being said, 93 degrees Fahrenheit and the humidex was up to 45. I was like, oh crap. Yeah. That was insane. Yeah. It was terrible. I mean, we were getting.
I'm literally dripping sweat right now. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
And I am running out. I'm out of paper towels already.
Oh God, no! Don't say that. Yeah. Oh
my God, my bandana's already soaked through.
Oh jeez. Yeah, don't you hate it when you take a midday nap and your pillow and the pillowcase and all that stuff is full of sweat, and you're just lying in sweat? Oh yeah. It's so bad.
You wake up and you feel fine, but as soon as you lean forward and there's a little bit of air between the the sweat and the shirt, you realize how much you've actually been sweating, and suddenly you feel like you need to take a shower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was on a panel last night with my friend Gorilla's Random Thoughts, and he was talking about. He says, "Okay, Mike," he says, "why don't you try 97 degrees with 95% humidity?" But dude, I did that for 18 months when I was living in Oklahoma. You freak! I dealt with that.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you don't. That's what I'm saying.
I moved to San Diego, or I didn't move. I stayed in San Diego because it's freaking San Diego. The only reason it's so hot up here is because they have, insulation everywhere. It's upstairs, no ventilation almost whatsoever.
I know.
So it just, it gets freaking hot.
Yeah. So where are you at right now? Where do you live now?
I live in Mission Valley, but my storage unit is in a place called Lakeside. It's basically Little Texas.
Little Texas. Wow. Yeah.
And I mean that in all the worst ways you can imagine.
Yeah. Well, I know what Texas was like, because I drove down to make a stop over in Wichita Falls, Texas, and that was I was miserable, but all the time I lived in those 18 months I lived in Oklahoma, I was there with my second ex-wife at the time, and it was just terrible. Hello, Dandelion.
Come on up if you want to, just to say hi. I don't know what you're up to.
Come on up and say hello, Dandelion. Yeah. Yeah, she's cool. I like Dandelion. Yeah, so I mean,
we were playing Jackbox on Chris's stream on Sunday.
Oh yeah. I thought I saw you guys. Yeah, I kind of worked in, see what was going on. I'm trying to take some time off on weekends now. For a couple reasons. One reason, one of my friends is going to be undergoing a heart surgery this coming next Tuesday, and he's going to be out of circulation for a while. So I'm going to try to keep him company.
Hello.
Call him and whatever every once in a while. Hey, Dandelion.
So what have you been up to? If you can't stay that long,
I can't stay for too long because I usually watch a different stream on a Wednesday, and I missed a whole bunch of them while I had a house guest. So,
well, who else is doing live streams on a Wednesday?
Onzo does his off our chests stream.
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's totally
I
all right.
don't think I'm actually on. I don't think I actually subscribed to Hanzo.
Biggerford?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I am or not.
Oh,
I don't get notifications for his live streams. That's for sure.
Yeah, are you talking about
YouTube
Biggerford
thing.
Entertainment?
Yes.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, I've got him subscribed. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I usually watch his stream, and I'm already late because I just finished my workout. So, and I have to also do cooking tonight. So,
no.
The next 3 days. So that's cool. No, that way I don't have to cook each day.
Oh,
I can just
cook everything. Yeah, put everything together.
I pre-cook stuff, and I got a little lazy this week. I have to do this dish that has ground turkey in it, and all I did the other day was cook the ground turkey. So, and then today I got to add all the other stuff to it. So
yeah, my wife made us some white rice with bits of sausage were in it and some onions, and it was good.
sounds lovely, man. You look like you're sweating balls, dude.
Oh, I am.
Oh,
literally, just as I started the stream, my fan died, and I'm like, "Crap!" I thought I threw it in the charger, and apparently I didn't.
That sucks.
Yeah, you should. Well, I'd show you, but I have this smaller fan, which has 3 settings, and you can plug it into your PC, and you can run the fan from your PC. So,
Yeah, I have one that's similar to that, but the problem is I don't use my laptop when I'm at the storage unit. I'm using my phone because one, my laptop only has about an hour's worth of power, even if the screen isn't as bright as can be.
Sure.
Right.
And then running a fan is just going to kill that power more.
Gotcha.
Right.
Anyway, I'm going to boogie because I've got a bunch of shit to do, and I don't really want to be on a stream. I'm just going to watch stream. So,
alrighty.
Have fun. See you Sunday.
Later.
Nice to see you, Mikey Sousa 4.
Yeah. It's good to see you again, Dandelion. I know I've got you subbed for sure. So.
I'm sure I'm sure I've encountered you and elsewhere.
Oh yeah. I don't get out too much now.
Nice.
I got my own show Monday through Thursday, and I work with Gorilla and my other brother Larry. He's the one who's going to have his heart surgery on Tuesday. So if you guys could say some extra prayers for him that he gets through it successfully, because there is a slight chance he may not be able to make it through it. So,
I hope he comes through well. And I'm a polytheist, so I will pray to all the gods for a successful recovery.
Well, that'll work too. Sure, that's fine.
All right.
As long as the big guy's up there and mixed in with everybody else.
Personally, I'm a non-believer, but I can pray to Joe Pesci for you.
There we go.
He's a film that is just as effective.
Or maybe the flying spaghetti monster.
It's funny you should say that. Oh no, I lent it to Mrs. Vile. I actually have the Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Excellent. Excellent.
You
As
have
one
that?
should. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Later.
All right, Dandelion, take care. And there's.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's the thing is that all this time in my life I haven't been able to handle humidity very well. I really can't. I'm just not you know what's funny is one of the things that's hilarious is that because I lived in a dry heat state for so long, and then when I moved here to Canada, the first thing I really enjoyed was the cold, when it got really cold at night and the snow and everything, and I was like, yeah, I love this. And my mom said, that's not you, Michael. You're not supposed to enjoy winter weather. And I said, but I do. it's in my anatomy. It's in my DNA. You know. Well, I mean, originally, I told you before I came from the Bay Area, and I lived there for a couple of years and whatever. I was used to all the cold weather and the fog and and all that stuff, and I was used to it. I mean, I did catch pneumonia when I was 3, but that's irrelevant. I did make it. So anyway, I always enjoyed the fog, the rain, the cold, everything like that. Nights when it got even colder, like when it got down to like 30 degrees, things like that. And I loved that. And it just seemed that when I moved here to Toronto area, that it seemed like a natural progression because I enjoy the cold. I mean, I'm weird, I know, because living in Arizona like I did, but then moving here back east, and I'm enjoying the cold. I'm probably one of the rare few because a lot of people they like to get out of this part of the country, whether they're in the States or Canada, and they want to move west. It's like move west, young man. And they go down there, and then they realize our dry heat is almost year round. We have over 300 days of sunlight. We're just talking about central Arizona. If we were going north, it'd be more like the Four Seasons there in Flagstaff. Or if you went south, Tucson's got like at least 3 seasons worth. But 4 if you go up to the top of their Mount Lemmon, which is usually full of snow. So yeah, it's just one extreme to another. That's all it is.
I just found out one of the games I bought yesterday.
Yeah.
It has stickers.
Nice.
That means no one. It's a shitty game, but I'm sure the stickers will make somebody happy.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I mean, this is the freaking game.
Oh, wow. But I can't really see it though on your
It's Ultimate Band for the Nintendo DS.
Oh, nice.
It's basically a DS version of Guitar Hero.
Or Rock the Band. Yeah.
Or Rock Band, yeah. And this one's also made by Disney, so.
Oh, Disney.
That's why it's. It's reversed, but Disney, I'm a gamer.
I'm a gamer, yeah.
Oh, God. And the website being advertised is D Gamer.
D Gamer. Okay.
D Gamer.
The Gamer.
Because.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I
being all about that D.
Oh,
that's the type of gamer I am. All about that D.
All about that bass. Megan Trainor. Oh my Lord. That seems like yesterday. That that doesn't seem like so many years ago, but to me that sounds like it was yesterday. Or Call Me Maybe from Carly Mae Jepsen. I'm
amazed you even know their names. I could listen to the song and still be like, I don't know who that is.
Well, what's kind of weird though is the reason I know this is because, well, for Carly Rae Jepsen, the thing is that if you listen to her, okay, I know this sounds kind of far out there, far fetched, but if you listen to the words where she says "Call Me Maybe," put the word Illuminati in there, and you can actually. It matches the song. Instead of saying "Call Me Maybe," just say Illuminati, and it makes perfect sense. In that way. And then All About That Bass. Yeah. Well, it's also could be called All About My Ass, because that's how Megan Trainor she shakes herself in the video. I don't know if you've seen it, but
actually, I don't. I've seen more parodies of it than I've seen the actual video.
Yeah, right. I've seen the actual video.
This says featuring songs made famous by The Killers, Fall Out Boy, Blink-182, and Plain White T's. You notice how it doesn't say features their music; it says features songs made famous by. So you're literally just playing. You're pretending to play those songs. They don't actually play them.
Yeah. Well, there's that one group. I guess it's like a modern group, but you ever heard the Congos?
Can you see?
Oh my God! Oh, that's nuts. Oh wow! Oh jeez. Yikes! Yikes!
Anastasia Gruzdakavo. or something like that. I can't pronounce the name. I am horrible at pronouncing certain names.
That's all right. No, but yeah, have you ever heard of the Congos? They spell it Kongos. My wife actually liked their song, the one they sang in the Expendables movie.
I have no idea.
Remember the song again, but yeah, but it's just like one of the modern day groups. Probably one of the rare ones that my wife would actually listen to. She also likes Ed Sheeran, so it's like, okay, I don't have a problem with Ed Sheeran, but I mean, there's I gotta be honest. I told people, I said, look, after 2000, you had your hit or miss. I call it the hit or miss decades. Okay, from 2000 to 2020 to right now, the present day. There's a few like hit or miss songs I wouldn't mind. The hit songs that actually, makes it appear that somebody had some kind of creativity inside them at the time when they wrote it. Like Psy, with Gangnam Style. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. I love that song. And
No, Richie, I'm just bored and at the storage unit, sweating my balls off. So I figured I'd do a stream.
Yeah, and the Congo saying "Go With Me Now" is a War, Go With Me Now, something like that. I think that's the name of the song, but that's from one of the Expendables films, and that's Sly Stallone and all the guests, all the rest of them. Yeah. So I mean, there's a few moments. Oh, Richie says TMI dude. Okay.
Well, you can see visually how much I'm sweating, or at least depending on how close you're looking at the little image of me. I already had to take off my bandana because it was so soaked with sweat.
Yeah, I don't want to say what I look like right now. I'm all covered in sweat and I can't stand it. So I'd just rather talk like this. And you can imagine what I look like, probably covered in sweat now. Sorry, Richie. Oh God. Well, we're supposed to get rain in the next 2 days, so hopefully we'll get some good rain, and yeah, it'll cool it down just a little bit. So that'd be nice.
Question: were you one of the ones that liked Andor, or did you not watch it yet?
Which one are you talking about again? Andor?
Andor, Star Wars Andor.
Yeah, Star Wars Andor. Heard about it. Watched maybe like 30 minutes of the first episode, and kind of lost interest. Yeah, I kind of lost interest, but yeah.
I know there's reflection, but
who is that in that box?
Cassian Andor.
Cassian Andor. Okay, all right.
Richie, I'm a fat guy. They can always see when I'm sweating. What I don't want them to do is see me bleed.
Richie, I'm an oversized guy too, just like Mike over here. Come on. Don't make fun of us that way. Never let them see you sweat. Yeah. Dude.
Like fat guy, they can always see me sweat.
You know who looks embarrassing when he sweats? I know this is kind of wrong to say this, but I think Peter Griffin a Family Guy looks really bad when he's full of sweat as opposed to Homer Simpson. Just saying.
Are you talking about like the guy that cosplays as him?
Maybe, I don't know. I didn't know there was a guy playing him in a cosplay.
Yeah, there's a famous fat guy who is cosplayed as Peter Griffin a lot. Sounds like him too.
Oh, really? Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a friend of mine. We call it, his name is Booger 414, but his wife is Christine. They're cosplayers, and they've been to a few. Oh wow, yeah, and they've been to a few, Comic-Cons, and they went to one. I think Booger did even mention that he saw the guy that does cosplay as Peter Griffin. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been able to meet the guy. I'm sure there's lots of people that do, but there's just one guy that has been made almost a career out of it.
Yeah.
Although he did apparently stop. I say recently because he lost a lot of weight.
Oh,
And
yeah. You can't. Yeah, you gotta be an oversized porker to maintain a cosplay.
well, he still
If
sometimes
you're
dresses like it, but
cosplaying,
he doesn't look as
yeah.
closely because he lost a lot of weight. Not not
Well,
everything, but
yeah. Well, Mike, they might have told him, if you don't start to lose some weight, you might kill yourself. So maybe they just said something, and he said, oh, "Okay, well, maybe I'll try to lose a little bit of weight." But you know, but the cosplay, of being this character, and I get compensated for it. That's hard to give up. If you get that, you get compensation. So yeah, I know because well, my I have a couple of nieces and nephews. One of my youngest nieces, a few years ago, she went to her very first Comic Con dressed as one of the characters from Sailor Moon, and I mean, she dressed to the nines. She looked great.
oh, I actually had to send a video to Mrs. Vile because she likes Sailor Moon. I'm not a huge fan of Sailor Moon though.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
My niece's name was Monique, and she looked great. I mean, she showed her entire. My mother luckily took a picture of her dressed up before she went to Comic Con. So that was in Phoenix where she went. Yeah.
but
So I mean, Sailor Moon. I was like, oh wow, okay. Yeah.
thank you for stopping by, Rock Solid, and showing us how wrong you are as always. I appreciate it, man.
Coffee and Breath of the Wild Sun. Okay.
And if you're interested, you can buy one of the mugs from the CNA streams where I drink coffee, or just to make Rock Solid even more upset. You can
He says, "I love you, brother."
You can even purchase a Legend of Zelda mug for your coffee
Nice.
from the eBay store, which will come with a free Legend of Zelda pendant.
Nice. Well, there you go, Rock Solid. He's willing to send that to you.
And yeah, I love you too, man. Caddy's actually mad at me because I haven't returned her Tears of the Kingdom yet, because I am not enjoying it as much as Breath of the Wild at all. It's if I wanted to play Minecraft, I played Minecraft.
Yeah, that's how Suzanne is gets along with some people on Minecraft, and we did get to see the film. We thought it was awesome. I thought it was great, and it was a nice tribute to Technoblade Alex, who passed away at a young age.
I had to have that
23.
explained to me by Caddy, but
Yeah. That's what
yes, but
Brock said
Breath of the
about.
Wild, there's not as much building involved. Sorry for interrupting you, Mike.
Oh no.
But this is nothing but building.
Yeah. Give me a
I
moment.
mean, I get the cooking aspect. That can get tedious. They should have made something a little bit easier for that. But the reason I stopped playing, though, is because I was an idiot. I got stuck in the underground area of Tears of the Kingdom because I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to go. And because in that area, when you get damaged by a certain thing, you don't regain your health, even if you consume food or a potion or whatnot. And the game auto-saved just within distance to an enemy camp. Yes, yeah. I know I set myself up for that one, Roxy. So every time I die somewhere else, it would restart me near this camp, and then I would, if one of the little things threw a rock just hard enough, it would kill me within seconds of reloading. And there literally was a spot where I just sat and watched my Switch. It would load up from that previous death. I'd have something thrown at me before I could even move, and then I would die again, and it would redo it, and did it like 4 times in a row, so I just gave up. Then finally, Caddy was like, well, why don't you just leave? And I'm like, how? I'm stuck. She's like, just go to the map, go up. You can see the overworld, and you can teleport to the one of the places in the overworld. And I'm like, I can do that? Yes, apparently I could. It was a very simple thing, but I just got. I didn't even think about it.
That's so cool, Richie, that your kid also loved the Minecraft movie. You know what's wonderful about it is that not just kids but like adults can actually enjoy it too, teenagers as well. I even Suzanne and I even saw when we went to see the movie. We saw a few senior citizens who wanted to check it out, and they liked it. So I was like, it just seems like a good for all ages kind of film. And I
Well,
think the practical and visual effects were done really well. CGI was perfect in certain parts where it needed to be. And the acting was okay. We are talking about Jack Black, but even Jason Momoa had a few of his moments where he was hilarious. But otherwise it was okay. Yeah, we liked it. We liked the film. And like
well,
you
I
said
still
again,
haven't
they
seen
did
it. I
this.
have no real intention of wanting to see it, but it was described to me by a friend
Uh-huh.
that if you are a huge major Minecraft player, like you still play several hours a week, and you've built these massive things, and you know all about the lore and everything about
Right,
you, everything, you will hate this
right.
movie. If you played the game once 10 years ago, you'll love this movie.
Yeah.
That's how he described it.
Well,
So maybe I'll enjoy it.
that's
Maybe I
pretty
won't.
cool. Well, Suzanne is, you know, she knows this guy named Philza, and Philza, who lives with his wife in England, was a big, huge fan of Technoblade. Well, Alex, his name was Alex, and he knew him well and everything. And yeah, just he had this form. He contracted this form of cancer, terminal 4 stage. That no one, even in their 20s, should ever contract something like this. But unfortunately, he did. So, and he knew a lot of people, and he ended up having the Guinness Book of World Records, I guess, for the best score ever in Minecraft, or owning the most in Minecraft before he passed away. So now his dad is continuing his legacy. But yeah, you know what? I never really understood a lot of it. I just wanted to see how good the effects and everything were going to be, and they were good. They were good, decent, and good. So, and and as far as Suzanne, she said, well, you know, I'm hoping they do a good tribute. And I said, well, yeah, if they do at least a tribute to Technoblade, to Alex, and they did 3 different times throughout the film, you just have to watch them carefully. But yeah, they consider him a legend. Even Jack Black, the actor himself, plays the game. So I was like, okay, well, then that makes sense. Making him Steve, kind of funny. Especially the first time when he introduces himself, he says, I'm Steve. Oh my god. Jack Black, he's nuts.
I used to be a real big fan of his, but I just less and less as time goes on.
Yeah, well, we own let's see. We own both of his R.L. where he played himself as R.L. Stein in Goosebumps films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those 2 Goosebumps films. I think those are pretty good. Uh, good for effects and the monsters and shit. You know, decent stuff there. Uh, I remember when he did a King Kong film, and all right, so that's okay. Um, I actually, you know what? Kind of one of the movies I really like him in is School of Rock, because
I've never seen that.
you need to see it. It's really good, actually. He uses a lot. Well, he's got that group with Christopher Guest called Tenacious D.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah,
I first learned of him as Tenacious D. But
yeah. He's got
ever
some
since
crazy
he kind
ass
of
songs.
the band has fallen apart. So
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, but back in the day, his Tenacious D was like, some really good shit there. Bizarre shit, but I mean, it was, at least it was decent music, compared to what nowadays we got running around, which is nuts. Um, it was actually tame stuff that Tenacious D had, which I admired. So that's okay. It was cool. But yeah, I liked it in School of Rock, and you really should see it, Mike, if you get a chance. Yeah,
I don't know. It just
it's
never
fun.
grabbed me
Yeah,
from
yeah,
watching
no,
the trailers.
yeah.
I know probably like 3 or 4 people that would say that School of Rock is probably one of their favorite movies of all time.
Well, it's not one
And
of my favorites of all time. I just like it for the music aspect of it, and the fact that Jack Black can be humorous and know his stuff about music. So yeah, it was beauty that killed the beast. Yeah. Oh yeah, they use that a lot in the King Kong films. They used that in the original in 1933, and you had the one that came out in 1976. Before Star Wars, and then you had Peter Jackson's you know version, which came out. What was it in 2000 something? I can't remember the exact.
talking about
Help me out here,
Skull
Richie.
Island, King Kong, or are you talking about the
No,
other
I was
one?
talking. Well, no, he was quoting from King Kong. It was beauty that killed the beast, and I was trying to say they used that same line in all the King Kong in the original in 1933, and then again in 76, and then they used it again with Peter Jackson's King Kong, which I think was in 20. Richie, help me out. Was it 2015, 2016? It was sometime in the late 2000s.
I'm going to go on a limb and say 2005.
2005? That was a Jack Black line? Okay. I'll grab you. what, what does he mean by that? Oh, man. Here, let's see. I told somebody the other day, Bobby Sherman from the 60s and 70s. I guess he had to be there. He had to live there. But that guy died. And then you had the guy from Mick Ralphs who was in Mount Hoople, and then he joined Bad Company. So if you listen to Bad Company back in the 70s and 80s, and he died too. So there's like a lot of, I don't know, lately there's just a lot of musicians that are dropping dead. It's just insane.
Because a lot of the good musicians are were born in the 1950s and 60s.
Right?
So
Yeah, true. Well,
it's like
just kind of,
one of the things someone noticed was someone passed away from Star Trek. I can't remember who recently. It was one of the guys that played one of the Klingons.
yeah,
And someone on Twitter or BlueSky, whichever one I saw it on, was saying like, man, it's like we can't go a single day without someone from Star Trek passing away. And it's like, well,
right,
yeah, because the Star Trek you remember is the Star Trek from the 50s, or sorry, from the 60s, 80s, 90s. All those people are now, in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or 100s,
yeah,
or nearly 100. So, yeah, there's a reason why so many of them are passing away.
right. So it says here that there are a total of 13 films in the King Kong franchise. 13 films. That also includes television, novels, comic books, video games, attractions, and other merchandise. And let's see.
Sorry, is Godzilla versus King Kong on the list?
I bet it is. Yes. I'll take a look because I'm looking. Okay. There's it's in
I
chronological order.
misspoke, rock solid.
Yeah.
I meant
Okay.
60s.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, so the original one came out in 1933, King Kong. Then a couple months later that year, there was Son of Kong. Then there was in 1962, King Kong versus Godzilla. And in 1967, King Kong escapes. Then the other one I just talked about was in 1976, which was produced by Dino De Laurentiis, the King Kong movie. And then in 1986 was King Kong Lives. Then Peter Jackson, 2005. You're right. Good call, dude. Seriously, I would have never thought of that. Okay, yeah. So Peter Jackson's version came out in 2005 with Jack Black. And
Whoa. Hold on. We got to say something to Rock Solid. 13 films, none of them good. I am so sorry. The first one, the first King Kong movie, is a freaking masterpiece.
Yeah,
it is awesome, especially if you put yourself in the mindset of someone from that era.
Yeah, and if you do, and Rock Solid, if you look at 76 when they brought it back, and that I believe that was it was Jeff Daniels, right? Was in that one, and and it had the damn it, what was that one actress name? Not Fay Ray from the original, but I was trying to think of in the remake. It was Jeff Daniels, and that's embarrassing. How can I not remember that one? Let's see. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at 76 here. Okay. Right. So Lorenzo Semple Jr. did the screenplay. He also did the screenplay for Batman the movie based on the series. I remembered that. Let's see here. Yeah, Jeff Bridges. Why did I say Jeff Daniels? It's Jeff Bridges and then Charles Grodin and Jessica Lange. And in that one, Charles Grodin plays the part that that Jack Platt eventually played. The guy who goes to the island, gets Khan, brings him back, and then, shows him off to everybody. Yeah. So, Grodin, yes, Richie, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you, Shifty Gizm. Yes. Jessica Lange, she was pretty beautiful lady back then. I'd say, not Jeff Daniels, right? Jeff Bridges. Yes, thank you. Yeah, Richie, 1976 was the next best version. Totally agree with you there.
I was going to say, it's probably been a very long time since I've seen it, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, what
I've literally seen the 1920, or the 1929, 1934, something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so
that one I've seen more often.
Right. So the King Kong 2005 film, like I said, that was directed by Peter Jackson. It had it was the second remake of the 1933 film, and and then 76 was the other one. It had Naomi Watts in Fay Ray's role.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Black is the role of the guy who goes to the like Charles Grodin did in 76, and Adrian Brody, who was the the guy on the boat, that ended up falling in love with the character. So, with the female character. Yeah.
I was going to say that if I was going to make it a joke, he fell in love with the gorilla.
Who fell in love with the gorilla?
you were saying Adrian Brody fell in love with, and I'm like, you fell in love with the gorilla.
No. He fell in love with Naomi Watts' character.
I can imagine Adrian Brody wanting to king someone's Kong, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Hey, now he didn't do a bad job in The Pianist, so yeah.
Well, it's because he's a hardcore method actor. That's why I was making the joke.
Oh, that's it. Right, exactly. Richie says I think the guy who played Bone. Yeah. They give Khan a mechanical heart. Oh,
was that in the Godzilla versus one? Because I remember originally the script was apparently supposed to be Godzilla versus Frankenstein. And it was going to be like a giant version of Frankenstein that Godzilla fights, but for reasons I can't tell you because I don't know. Instead, they decided to use King Kong. But because Frankenstein, in the modern films was, struck by lightning to be brought to life, he was going to have electrical powers. So that's why in the Godzilla versus Kong film, Kong, runs into power lines but doesn't get really shocked or to death or anything. He just gains electrical powers for a short time.
Right. And we all know that Godzilla enjoys going through Tokyo and all of their electrical devices.
Didn't even notice.
Oh, man. Kind of like Captain Picard. Ah, okay. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they gave Captain Picard an artificial heart, right? Or their form of artificial heart back in the 24th century. Yeah.
One that lasts a lot longer than the ones that today do.
Yeah, electrical powers. That's shocking, but that story would be pretty grounded in reality. Yes, it would. Rock solid. Yes, it would.
Roxy, why don't you come up here if you're going to crack puns?
Yeah, crack puns with us all. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Where did I leave off? Okay, so Kong Skull Island came out in 2017, 12 years later. Then, it's weird because in 62, King Kong versus Godzilla. So then in 2021, they had Godzilla versus Kong. And then they did the second part of that called Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. And then they did one more, and that was in 2024. And now they're doing the third and final of this trilogy in 2027 called Godzilla X Kong Supernova. Yeah. Weird. And then a direct-to-video animation was The Mighty Kong in June of 1998.
Rocky, are those short? Sorry for interrupting you. Are those shorts or those full-length ones?
They're full-length ones. This is direct-to-video
animation. Ones Rock Solid said he was making.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was curious about.
So Mighty Kong was 98. Kong, King of Atlantis was in 2005. And Kong Return to the Jungle was 2006. So, like I said, the very last and 13th film will be the one that comes out March 26th of 2027 called Godzilla X Kong Supernova. Interesting.
Well, I didn't hate a lot of the new Monarch Godzilla Kong movies.
Right.
I think that the newest one, the one you were just talking about, the Godzilla X Kong New Empire or something like that.
Yes.
That one just seemed a little redundant.
Yeah, it did. I mean, well, we've seen them both, so I mean, we'll see them. I mean, when they bring them out.
Later, man.
Like a fat kid in dodgeball, I'm out.
Yes, but when are they going to do Kong versus Freddy and Jason in space? I don't know. I'd rather see the Ash versus.
How can you? No. What they need to do. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Sorry. I just remember seeing Jason 10, Uber Jason in space. And I've already, we own Freddy versus Jason. We found it. And I was like, oh my, so good. That's one of my all-time favorites, Freddy versus Jason. I've got this bitch, and come to Freddy, and all this other stuff.
Some of it's so bad, though.
Yeah. But come on. It's so bad that it's good. It's so bad that it's funny as hell.
It's more like it's so bad that you forgive it and will watch it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I love watching it. And I love the soundtrack. Slipknot, that's how I got attached to listening to Slipknot music was through that film. I was like, holy crap, Slipknot? Wow. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. I mean, I probably would never go to one of their death metal, concerts and shit, but, it's okay that they have music, that you can listen to and in the film, in the soundtrack. So, yeah. But how would here's the thing. How would Freddy Krueger somehow get to Uber Jason in space? The only way he'd be able to do that would be for Freddy to return again in somebody's nightmare, and this person being an astronaut or maybe working on the International Space Station and having nightmares. And then you could have Freddy meet up with Uber Jason, who somehow is floated back to Earth and ends up running into the International
You're
Space
overthinking
Station.
it. You're overthinking it. All you have to do is have a space station called Elm.
Elm, okay. Elm, oh, yeah, like Elm Street. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah.
So
So
once you got that, then we can have your.
Elm. Yeah. Sure. Sure, because that's where Uber Jason would end up running into Elm. And then you have Freddy Krueger, who somehow through the different astronauts' dreams wiped them out, and all you got left is Freddy versus Jason, part 2, on top of the Elm, above the Earth. Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I hope I didn't overthink that, but yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd go see it. I would. You brought
As I
those
said,
two
I'm
back
still waiting
together
for an
against each other, I
adaptation
would
of
definitely
Freddy
go see
versus
it.
Jason versus Ash.
Yeah.
I want that first.
That would work too, wouldn't it? You could bring Ash from Evil Dead, right? Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh yeah, just have Ash take on Jason.
Well, there was
and
a comic book
Freddy.
for that, right?
What's that?
There was a comic book, Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
Oh, there was? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool. Yeah. And how long did that comic last for? Or was that just in one
It was a
comic?
limited run, so it was like, I don't even think it was 12 issues.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a short run.
Yeah, Richie, that's a good point. Sure. I know that Mike and I and you could all come up with a script and send it to Hollywood, make a ton of money. Absolutely.
The only problem is I suck at writing scripts.
Oh. Well, Richie could write it. Hey, Richie, we'll let you write the script.
I'm glad you volunteered him.
I did. As we have the ideas. We just have to submit the ideas to Richie, and Richie can draw up the script, and But you'd have to get Robert Englund back, because I think he's too old to do it now, isn't he, Freddie? Or could he still do it? You'd have to bring him back. If Kane Hodder's still alive, we could probably bring him in to play Uber Jason. That's what he did in Jason 10. So
yeah, it sucks. The battery is about dead. So.
Oh, and then Bruce Campbell. Yeah, if Bruce Campbell doesn't want to play Ash anymore,
I think for enough money he'll come back.
Oh yeah, he probably would. Richie says, "Oh, okay, let's have AI write it for us." Oh, okay, well, yeah. All right. So then we'll just submit the ideas, the three of us, and we'll give it to AI. They can write the script up for us, and yeah, there we go. Now, I don't
know if I trust this AI. It was already a bad movie.
Yeah. Yeah, the AI film. Yeah. That was the one that had I See Dead People in it, right?
Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Haley Joel Osment was in a recent film that we saw. He's a much older guy, and it had Channing Tatum in it, and it was based loosely. It was directed by Zoe Kravitz, and it was loosely based on Jeffrey Epstein's Private Island.
Oh God.
Yeah, and Haley Joel Osment was much older guy in it. It also had what was his name? Kyle MacLachlan from Twin Peaks was in it too. Played the doctor in the film. Yeah, my wife and I saw it. It was bizarre. Yeah.
Do you know the title of it so I can avoid it?
Yeah, let me go find it. Well, it's the only one that Zoe directed, so yeah. No, but it's not a bad film. Let's see.
Sometimes there's
Hold
just
on.
those movies you watch afterwards and you're just like, what the fuck did I just watch? And why did I not hit end, pause or stop sooner?
Blink Twice. It's called Blink Twice.
I've
came out in
never heard of it, so
2024. Yeah, it's a psychological thriller directed and produced by Zoe Kravitz, and it's in her directorial debut. And it was from a script she wrote with E.T. Feinbaum. Yeah, Blink Twice. It wasn't bad. It had Channing Tatum, like I said. He was the head of this private island that he created himself, or this island he found, and created his own hell and stuff there, and doing things to women, and then somehow he made them forget. Sort of like what Jeffrey Epstein did at his parties.
yeah, that that's kind of spot on, wasn't it?
It was spot on. That's the scary part. Yeah, Blink Twice was like so spot on. I was like, holy crap! Did Zoe Kravitz herself go through shit? I don't know, man. I don't know if she'd ever admit to it, but damn, yeah. Blink Twice came out last year. Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, but then what's ironic? Jeffrey, Epstein, before he could, he was in jail, right? And before he could go to trial, he just kind of offed himself. I guess we're allowed to say that. Not the other word though. Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I know a lot of people are like, well, how obviously somebody silenced him so they wouldn't say anything. Certain things
Right.
when come out, and I just look at it as I don't care.
Right.
I don't care what side did it. I don't care if it was secretly the Republicans or secretly the Democrats or secretly the Green Party.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, based on all the evidence I've seen, and the guy was obviously guilty.
Obviously. And now I find it equally ironic that P. Diddy is now just like a Jeffries.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Oh my, dude, really? P. Diddy. Okay. Maybe you're trying to be like the poor man's Epstein.
No kidding. God. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't understand how someone can start doing that kind of stuff when they grew up like Diddy did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like growing up poor and then once you're rich, your meal of choice is to feast on the bodies of actual poor people.
Yeah. Though, back in the day, I never forgave P. Diddy for a song he did a cover of and had Sting sing on it. It was Roxanne. P. Diddy. He did a remake of Roxanne, had Sting sing on it. And and then they actually put this remake of his on the greatest hits album by the Police. And I was like, at the very end, and I was like, what the hell? Dude, you know what? I can't stand hip hop shit. I can't. And to see somebody just kind of trash one of my favorite songs growing up as a kid, when I was a teenager, I listened to Police and everything. I used to own all their albums too. That's how ancient I am. Yeah.
I think I only own one. And I couldn't even tell you which one right now.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Richie says, Richie says, I wonder if Trump will ever pardon Epstein posthumously. They were best friends, best buds after all.
I don't know if it's all true that they were best friends. I think they were more of men who shared the same appetites.
Yes. casual men acquaintances that really enjoyed women. Yeah. I doubt if Trump would ever pardon him for that. I don't know.
Well, I think if Epstein was alive, he might.
Maybe. But since he's gone,
But like you said, posthumously, no. No,
no, yeah, not
nothing would do
possible.
shit for him.
No, you wouldn't do that.
I mean, there's no reason to.
There's definitely no reason at all, actually.
And I will give Trump this. He doesn't do anything that doesn't benefit himself.
Right.
So I don't see any benefit for doing that.
Yeah, well, it's the one thing that Trump shares with the current prime minister we have here in Canada, Mark Carney. The fact being that both gentlemen are businessmen, but they don't know how to run their businesses. It's true. It's true.
Oh, you want to know something funny? If you want to think about it,
Yeah.
SD GameSwap has existed for almost 20 years at this point. All right.
Right.
Granted, I don't make a lot of money, and I mostly use it to. Well, at this point, it's more of a net zero anything, so I can just pay bills using it. Right.
Yeah.
It's not really it's a not for profit almost.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
But if you go by the fact that I've had it for almost 20 years now, that means my small eBay store has literally been run as a business longer than any business Trump has ever owned.
Exactly.
So
and
for
it's
somebody,
successful. And it's successful, right? In your estimation.
And the fact that it's been going on for 19 years and hasn't declared bankruptcy once.
Right.
I mean, that should tell you a couple of facts that I must be a better businessman than he is.
I would say you are. So why aren't you taking care of the Commerce Department up there in Washington, D.C.?
Because I refuse to put a Cheeto in my mouth.
Oh, a Cheeto. Okay. A Cheeto. Oh God. Chester Cheetah, man. I love those commercials for Chester Cheetah. That's why I love cheese puffs, man. I'm a big cheese puff fan. I love them.
Wait, are you the one that bought the thing from me?
No, I didn't. No.
Because I literally just sold a Chester the Cheetah chip clip.
Oh,
on
really?
eBay. Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. No, I don't go on eBay. No, I didn't buy that. No.
Well,
I'm not an eBay guy.
I just dropped a box.
Oh, you just dropped the box. No.
Oh
man.
No, what's funny though is I bought a set of headphones that I was going to add to that listing to see if it would encourage someone to buy it.
Right.
They're just Cheetos themed headphones. They're nothing real special, right?
Yeah.
I get in the checkout line. I purchase them. As I'm still in the line for the register. I just paid for them. I haven't even been given my receipt yet, and then I get the notification that someone just bought the chip clip.
Wow.
So I literally sent him a message saying, you had really interesting timing, blah, 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 blah. I'm really, really angry. You're going to get a free item now that you didn't even know you're going to get. Because I have no interest in keeping it for, the sell on its own.
Right. That's funny.
It was just interesting timing.
Yeah, so you didn't make a dime on it. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, on the chip clip? No, I absolutely made some money off of it. It's just that the headphones are just going to be added to the loss.
Right, okay.
I'll write them off as a total loss.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Yeah. Who else?
It's not a big deal. I mean, as I said, officially, my business doesn't make any money. It makes just enough to pay me a weekly fee, a yearly salary, a bunch of my
Yeah.
bills, and that's it. And that's
Does
all I
it
need
help
it for.
with? Yeah. Does it help with any of the bills, or you know?
It pays my storage bill, 1 tank of gas a month, my car insurance, my cell phone.
Nice.
So yeah, it pays for like half the stuff I need, basically everything but food and rent,
Right. Right. Right.
and that's
That
all I
I'm
need to do.
yeah. I'm sure food and rent is a without saying and without revealing too much here, that you know how to cover that. But yeah.
I'm stuck. Sorry, I'm trying to get out of the storage unit now because I'm just way too hot. But I got to grab the stuff that's sold, and I'm too much of a fat ass, and the storage unit's too small.
I was curious how you got that, how you managed to establish the storage unit to where you could have your own shows from it. How long have you had the storage unit now?
This particular unit, I'd say
Yeah,
about a year and a half, 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Uh, I've been at this facility for a lot longer, but
Yeah.
I switched to it. They were like, if you go to this other unit, well, we can save you some money. So I was like, I'll save some money.
Right.
But yeah, it's only like a 50 square feet. I just have it set up because I got shelving on one side and a table on the other, so I can take pictures and stream with
Right.
stuff behind me, and that way the stuff is on the shelves behind me, so it's easy to reach and find when I'm looking for stuff that is purchased.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
usually I can find stuff easy.
Yeah.
Because, like, here, I'll turn on the camera real quick. I know it's bad angle, but like, this is just on the shelf right here, on this bookshelf right here.
Yeah.
It's on there. This is where I keep all the Kinder eggs I have for sale.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Kinder.
And then
Yeah.
I mark on the Kinder eggs what they are, so I
Okay.
can easily find the one that someone purchased this week.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, Jesus.
what are you laughing
Oh,
at?
come on, Richie. He says you're stuck. Does that mean someone will find you decomposing a couple weeks from now? Find you? Yeah, see? Yeah. Kinder egg contraband.
You could argue that this is contraband. That's what's funny.
Oh, yeah, that's what Richie called it. It's a Kinder egg contraband. Anyway, what was I going to say to you? Oh, so the movie we're going to go see, my wife and I, we always go see a movie at the end of the month.
Oh, y'all don't want to see
Yeah.
that, so let me turn off the camera.
Yeah. Well, we want to go. Yeah, so we want to go see 28 Years Later, which comes, exactly 28 years after they did 28 Weeks Later in England.
Hold on. Is it 28 years after the? I
Yeah,
thought it was
28 years after. Right.
the other thing.
Yeah. So we've seen the 28 days after, and then we've seen the 28 weeks after, and then they were supposed to do 28 months after, but they never, for some reason, they had some issues with the actors or whatever, the crew, who was going to direct it and put it together, and now they finally have done 28 years after. So that's what's coming out this Friday. We're going to go see that. So.
Oh, I thought it was already out, but yeah, I definitely want to see that one.
Yeah.
I also want to see the new Final
It's already
Destination.
out. Yeah, it's been out for a couple weeks. Yeah, but we're gonna go see it. But I want to see that other one too, Megan 2.0. Oh man,
God help me, I want to see that one too.
That was cool. Yeah.
I feel like such a dweeb for wanting to watch that one, but I do. I really do.
I don't feel like a dweeb. When we saw the first Megan, I thought, okay, this is interesting. You got Allison Williams, who's been in a lot of different, cable shows, TV series, and stuff, and and she puts together this robot, and I'm like, and the actress who's playing Megan, is also professional ballerina and all this other stuff. So she does all the moves and stuff herself and does all the stunts. But now the premise of the second one, this 2.0, is that, well, Allison being the creator, she got dumb, in the first place for creating Megan and having its own sentience. But now she's got this other one that she forgot about that she built, and it's gone psychotic as well. And so it's just kind of it's like the first one, but like for what I've seen from the trailers, there's like 2 trailers of it, but it also looks like Megan is definitely established on her own, and now in order to keep her dominance, she has to knock off this brand new robot that's supposed to be faster than her and can knock off people more than she can, and yeah. So the battle between robots that should be interesting.
Well, it's Rock'em Sock'em Robots again.
Yeah, except that it's 2 female robots, and they're running around jumping each other.
I do find it funny you just said female robots when, by all accounts, they're genderless.
They're basically fembots. Do you remember the Bionic Woman, $6 Million Man? They had 2 different story arcs. There was a 3-part story arc which crossed over both of those old series. John Houseman was the Sir John Houseman was the Dr. Franklin who ran these fembots from an island, and then what was it? Sorry. And then in Bionic Woman, there was a 2-part arc where the fembots came back, and they said it was Franklin's kid, but actually Franklin's son had died. So what he did was he fashioned, while he was in prison, I don't know what kind of prison he was in order to be able to build a robot that looked like his son. But but anyway, so Jamie took on the fembots for 2 episodes of that, and I was like, okay. So then when I saw Megan, I was like, okay, Megan's like a fembot, and then she's going to take on another Megan type female robot or android or whatever you call it in the second one, 2.0. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it's just 2 fembots fighting each other again.
Well, hold on for a second.
You have to see. Yeah, well,
hold on.
I'm just going to tell people, it's like, if I get a chance to see it, I'm going to tell people, like, okay, think a moment. Think Steve Austin. Think Jamie Summers. Think both their episodes that featured fembots, and you just go from there. That's basically what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Are the 2 Megans going to make out? No, Richie. Nice thought, though. No, they're not going to make out. Yeah.
Revenge of the Box.
Yeah, Richie says kind of like Data's evil twin brother Lore. Maybe, but both trying to say this, but both Megans are like both evil. So it's not like one is gonna be like Data and the other one's gonna be Lore. No, it's kind of weird. Yeah, Bionic Woman is a great show. I agree. It was very good.
It's lore and evil lore, if that makes sense.
Lore and evil lore. Yes. Okay. That sounds better. There you go, Mike. Yeah, that sounds better. Lore and evil lore. Yeah. And they're funny. The fight they have, a couple of the fights they have in the trailer, you don't get to see all of it, but some of them are pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah, and
so,
Richie, you're right.
I'm trying to leave.
Yeah. Hey, Richie, do you remember besides the Fembot one, Fembots in Las Vegas is what it was called. the 2-part one arc. But do you remember the Doomsday Machine? Now that was a great one. Yeah.
Are you talking about the Star Trek episode? Or are you talking about
No, not
Bionic
that
Woman?
one. No, I'm talking about the Bionic Woman. It was called the Doomsday Machine or something like that. Yeah, Data had an evil streak. Yeah. Let's see. If you don't mind, I'll take a look here real quick.
What's up?
Just checking something here real quick. There we go. Let's see. Season 1. This is great. They have all these put out there. Let's take a look at season 2. Just reading through these really quick. There it is. Yeah, it was a 2-parter called Doomsday is Tomorrow. It was this yeah, it was a 2-part episode, and what it showed was there was this scientist who had built this machine as a deterrent against Doomsday, against Armageddon, and he somehow he ended up dying. So then he kept this, so after he died, the machine was able to gain sentience and was going to launch missiles itself and start World War III. And so Jamie's got to go in there with this guy who was a Russian spy to try to stop him. What is
You
that?
like my new hoodie?
Oh yeah, from yeah. Oh, and that's the don't help me. I know this. From Mario Brothers, that's the King Koopa, right?
Yep.
Nice.
Mrs. Vile got it for me for Father's Day.
Wow, that's cool. I like the King Koopa on the front. Yeah, Koopa. Yeah, King Koopa.
Oh, but I just found 2 more, or another something else I got to post now. Well, I can do it today.
Bowser. Okay, that's Bowser. Okay. Yeah. So Richie, yes, the computer that I don't know if it was the same guy who did the voice for HAL 9000 in 2001: Space Odyssey, but it was a similar guy that did the voice for that. Yeah, Doomsday is Tomorrow. Yeah, that was a 2-part episode. Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Oops.
Oh no, the crossover was the one that first featured John Houseman running the Fembots. That was a 3-part crossover. It started with Jamie and Bionic Woman, then went to $6 Million Man, and then it went back to Bionic Woman for part 3.
Well, I will definitely take your word for that because I don't know enough about Bionic Man and Bionic Woman. I didn't really watch them growing up.
Are you the same age as me, Mike?
I'm not sure. How old are you?
I turned 60 in September.
No, I just turned 40.
Oh, okay. You don't look 40, dude.
Not right now, no. Especially without me shaved.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's some good living, though, man. Yeah. Yes. Oh, yes. Right, Richie. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah, there was a crossover too with Sasquatch. Yes. Well, let me ask Richie this personally. Who did you like better as Sasquatch? Did you like when Ted Cassidy played him, or did you like it when Andre the Giant played him?
I will say this. Hold on. I've never watched the episode. I'm already going to say Andre the Giant.
Yeah, that's what I would have said too. I thought he was
I just like Andre the Giant. He was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Back in that day,
See, now you and I would have liked Andre, but Richie says Ted Cassidy. And there's nothing wrong with that, really. I mean, he was in that TOS, the original Star Trek. What Are Little Girls Made Of is Rock or Ruck, whatever they call him. Yeah, that was Ted Cassidy. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Rock from Star Trek. Yes. It was called What Are Little Girls Made Of?
Yeah, I think we've already reviewed that episode. That's the one with the giant stalactite penis.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that episode of Vile Reviews, go watch it.
All right.
I think all the jokes we made. I think it was one of my favorite ones for some of the jokes.
Yeah, I had already did a review of it on my. I do an episode of TOS. You'll have to go back a while because I'm almost up to episode 27 of season 1. But yeah, go back and listen to my review of What Are Little Girls Made Of. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And making a an Android copy of Kirk, and of course, transferring thoughts, and Kirk came up with something brilliant, I think, in his estimation, where he came up with the idea to call Spock a derogatory term.
Yeah.
To give it away, to make him know that that's not him. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
All right, hold on one second. I'll be right back.
The Vile Child is awesome in those TOS reviews. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and watch some more of those VileMike stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing mystery episodes soon here, Mike. You should check those out. They're gonna be we're gonna be doing some live streams, I think, on Mondays. Towards the just after August, towards the end of the summer. We're going to be talking about In Search Of, Beyond Fact or Fiction, Ancient Aliens from History Channel.
Okay. If you talk about ancient aliens, I will be happy to be on that show to be the voice of reason.
Okay.
Because I can't.
I will set you up I'll set you up as a co-host of the Voice of Reason.
Because it's 90% of ancient alien stuff could be. It looks like this, so it has to be this.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Crazy.
Now I am back outside, so I can smoke a cigar.
Now you're in your car. There you go.
Yep. I'm still parked outside the storage unit.
Right.
And don't drink and drive, folks.
Yeah, don't do that.
And I'm going to turn off the camera because the sun's right behind me.
Oh,
but no,
yeah.
it's actually a G Fuel energy drink.
Right.
I like G Fuel. I like this specific one. If you ever try their I don't know what Blue Bomber slushy, it's the Mega Man one. This is the only energy drink that I've been able to mix with damn near anything, and it'll taste good.
Yeah, I used to drink. Yeah, I used to drink Monster drinks. I really like the Monster drinks. Back in the day, I drank Arizona tea. Did you know they actually made that here back east? Not in Canada, but I think over in New York. But it's supposed to be, it's like a form of iced tea, but it's in a drink, and I used to drink it. It was good. Arizona tea, they called it. Yeah. It's made back east. Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding though. For stuff I've mixed this with, that it still tastes good in. Considering this is a clear-colored energy drink.
Right.
Brandy, whiskey, bourbon, tequila, vodka, sun-kissed orange soda, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper,
Yeah.
Minute Maid, Minute Maid lemonade, Sunny
Right.
Delight.
Yeah.
I mean, this literally has gone with everything I've ever poured it in. Alcoholic or not, dark or not, light or not, it seems to just work with everything. I have no idea why it works with everything.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I used to do a lot of mixed drinks in my day, just mix it with other things, and yeah, I
Well,
used
it's
to
also
make.
it's a zero calorie, it's zero sugar, zero calories. So when you
Yeah.
mix it with something that's already sweet, it's
Yeah.
not like making it overly sweet, even more sweet.
Right. Well, we drink.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, I was gonna say because Suzanne and I we have diabetes, a form of diabetes, so we have
Mm-hmm.
to drink. We have to drink those ones that they call no sugar. We drink like Pepsi or Coke with no sugar. But we've
Yeah.
also had Dr. Pepper with no sugar. I've tried that once. I tried Sprite with no sugar. I tried 7 Up with no sugar. Uh, Fanta, I think, had a no sugar drink. Yeah, there's a few of them that have had that. So that's what we drink is no sugar at all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and they're okay. I mean, they're still sweet. Yeah. And I can mix those. I mean, we have this. We have juices, okay, juicers that you can put inside regular, and of course our tap water here in Toronto is supposed to be some of the safest water in the country. Tap water is safer than what they serve in Arizona or anything else like that, which is really bizarre. But we have these little juicers, so what we do is throw in a little bit of juice, and then I've mixed my Coke or my Pepsi with a juice, and still tastes good. Yeah. So
Well, I'm also one of those people, like, I will, when it comes to like dark sodas, I'll mix
yeah,
them to my heart's content, whether it's diet or regular. Dr. Pepper, Coke, Pepsi, RC Cola,
yeah,
anything but root beer because I can't stand root beer. So yeah, I'll mix and match when it comes to the dark sodas easily.
Why can't you drink root beer?
I hate the taste, and I have a personal beef with it.
Oh, okay. Because
Basically, I don't know who did it. It was either my brother or one of my stepbrothers,
yeah. So what
but
do you do?
one of them poured root beer into my Sega Genesis.
Oh no, into the game itself.
No, like into the console itself, and it fried the motherboard. Like
Oh no,
to the point where there was no fixing this.
right. You can't fix that. No.
Uh, and since no one would admit that they had done it,
Yeah.
uh, I had to vent my frustrations out on something, so I vented it out on root beer. So I hate root beer, all root beers, and they taste like shit.
Yeah. Well, there's a good reason. um. So what did Richie mean by this? The last thing I'm reading from him, he says, "You escaped the storage unit. You had me worried you weren't going to get out alive."
Well, that's because I said at one point I was stuck.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Hey, there you go, Richie. Round my root beer,
Richie,
a
I am
VileMike
totally
story.
stealing this comment.
Yes.
I'm going to use this in some capacity in a future story, in a future video, live stream, something. I'm going to save that. In fact, hold on one second.
Oh, there you go, Richie.
Take a screenshot.
Yeah.
All right. I just took a screenshot of it.
Yeah, he says you're welcome to it. It's your big smile there.
Mm. Yeah, we were talking about you wake up from a nap and you're covered up with sweat.
Yeah.
Now that I'm outside, I got the windows down. There's a breeze going through. I can feel how like all the sweat on my shirt now
Oh wow.
because it's all like it's evaporating, so it's getting cooler. So I can now feel how wet my actual shirt is. It's kind of disgusting.
Yeah, yeah. I know it's. I'm trying. I'm trying to cool off a little bit more myself before I head for bed because you know because like I said, when I go to sleep and I wake up in the middle of the night, for the disturbances that you have to when you get this age, and you're gonna feel it. Trust me, you're gonna want to go to the bathroom a lot in 20 years from now. Trust me. Trust
Oh,
me.
it's kind of funny you say that because I have noticed that when I sweat a lot, I tend to use the restroom a lot less.
Yeah, which is weird because I tend to use it a lot more when I'm sweating. It's so weird. Yeah, and just laying my head on my pillow, but realizing that I'm laying in a pool of sweat, because of how hot it is and how humid it is around here, and at this time of year, and then trying to get up and go to the bathroom, and yeah, so it's weird.
Hmm.
As I told my folks, I said I never, in all that time I spent in Oklahoma and all that time I spent in Arizona, and I even spent 6 months in Colorado, but that was a little bit cooler. It was actually snowing more in the area where I was at than there was an actual spring or a summer, which was nice. Uh, but yeah, as I said, in all that time, I was not used to the humidity, and then coming back, what's weird is okay if you go live in a humidity type state, and then you come back to what you were living in, for a long time of your life, in a dry heat state. It's a rude awakening. It really is. It's like, okay, first I'm not sweating, but now I'm like, you know, you can burn half my face off, with the heat and everything else that's out there, and the dry stuff. But I mean, like I said, I came from Northern California, so I came from all that, you know, rain and fog and all that stuff, and then spent all that time in a dry heat. Then I was in a humidity state for a while, and I would say Colorado for 6 months was like in between. And now here I am in Canada, and I've been in Canada for almost 8 years now. It'll be 8 years with Suzanne September, and I mean, it's all about humidity during the summers, and I can't stand. But when it gets to winter, it's like, oh my god, I love winter. Yeah, I love snow, but she doesn't. She does not like the snow. Well, she comes from Newfoundland, and Newfoundland had a lot of snow when she grew up. So, yeah,
Well, one of the things I don't get, like, we were at Wendy's on Friday with my kids, my younger
yeah,
kids.
yeah,
One of my daughters, we're sitting in Wendy's. She's complaining about how hot it is when, because they're not running their AC at her mom's, right?
right,
So I turn on the AC in the car.
yeah.
She's fine right there. We get out of the car immediately. She's like, "Oh, it's really hot out here now," and I'm like, "Well, we'll be inside it shortly." So we go inside Wendy's where they've got the air conditioning on full blast. We're there for like 15 minutes, and she goes, "It's cold. Can we leave? It's cold." And I'm like, "You were just complaining about how hot it is." I was like, "Yeah, but now it's cold. So go out for 5 seconds. You'll be hot again. Come back in." I don't want to leave yet. It's too damn hot.
Oh, yeah. That makes me laugh so hard. I uh, I, I think I mentioned this once before. I used to work in the travel industry, and every year that I worked for either a hotel or a motel or for, uh, working in reservations, things like that. And these people would come from the East Coast and would come down to visit Arizona, whether it was to play golf, because Arizona has it's one of the largest states that has, or largest area that has golf courses in it. Like has golf courses throughout the entire state, pretty much. Heck, even the Navajo Indians, people there play golf. It's amazing. Um, Over near the Four Corners area. But anyway, so people from East Coast, this always makes me laugh. And I was working in this one resort area, just outside of Scottsdale. It's about like 20 minutes away or so, whatever. And so each time during the summers, I worked there for like 3 summers, and there was like, people coming from the East Coast, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm dying out here." It's like as soon as they get off the plane, they're like, "Oh my God, this is terrible. I'm dying. I want to go back." And I said, "Well, why did you come out here anyway?" "Oh, because it was too cold, or it was just too humid, and I went dryness." And oh man, it made me laugh. It did. Every time I heard people complain coming from the East Coast, I was like, "Well, go back. What's stopping you?" Or don't even come out to Arizona. I probably wouldn't have been a very good travel advisory guy or anything, but I tried my best. I told people how dry it was, and I told them what it was like. I mean, Christ, I lived there for over 44 years. So believe me, I knew everything there was to know about Arizona. And it's mostly, what's the real misnomer? It's that when people come, they think that in the entire state of Arizona is the problem, but it isn't. It really is more of a central location. They have what they call northern Arizona, which, if you were to go to Flagstaff, it would drop 25 degrees, right? I mean, let's say on a typical summer day, it would be 110 degrees in Phoenix. If you go up north, 2 hours drive time, about 2.5 hours, you get up to Flagstaff, and it automatically has dropped over 25 degrees, or at least 30 degrees. So it'd probably be like 80 degrees up there. The same thing would happen if you go to southern Arizona and you go down south to Tucson. Well, there, the temperature drop isn't that much. It would probably be, let's say, 110 Phoenix, so maybe 100 degrees or maybe 95 degrees in Tucson. But if you went up north of Tucson to Mount Lemon, and if they were lucky to have any snow or things up there, the temperatures would drop down all the way to like 50 or 60 degrees. So the bottom would be 95, but the top would be 60 degrees. So yeah, I mean, that's just how that's how it is. In Arizona, they got regions, they have climates.
Oh yeah, but I'm still worried about Richie when he says in the comments, I once golfed 9 holes in 122 degrees Fahrenheit in Phoenix.
Oh wow!
Richie, is that why you are the way you are? Because you did that? It fried your brain?
That must have been. Wait, Richie, was that in late June of 1990? Tell me in the comments if I'm right, because yes. Oh, dude, why did you do that? That is nuts. Seriously, my oh, I love telling this story. My parents were coming back from Hawaii on the day that it reached 122 degrees at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Their plane was the last one to land from Honolulu. They didn't have any other planes take off for 6 hours. I was working on the 12th floor of the DoubleTree Inns, hotels, and resorts as reservationists, and I was working the day shift. So we have a combination. Our building had a combination of swamp cooler in some parts, but it also had actual AC. And we were afraid the AC was going to die, but it didn't, luckily. But as soon as I left the building and I drove back to my apartment that I was sharing with someone, it was 110 degrees at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So that was nuts, dude. Yeah. No, the rest of the country is. Yeah, that's right. Arizona isn't the problem because it's meant to be hot, so it's meant to be what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, oh man, I'm dude, I give it up to you. 9 holes and 122 degrees. My wife, when she came to visit with me to visit my folks, she went through 121 degrees, which was the second highest day there in Phoenix, and she said it literally felt like I was in an oven. I could have just left my head there, and that's how hot it was. Oh my gosh, yeah. There's lots of different ecosystems, Richie. I totally agree. Yeah.
And what's funny is, you go to the Grand Canyon, one of the first times I ever went there, it snowed, and we were shocked that we're like, it snows at the Grand Canyon. Like, yeah, apparently it does.
Apparently it does. Yeah. Yeah. When I took Suzanne to go see the Grand Canyon, it was in early spring, so it was still, it's still warm in Arizona. I mean, down in Phoenix area and Scottsdale, but when we went up north and up there, and it's easily about 70 degrees, but it was nice, and we took the straight shot. We drove out of Williams, Arizona, and drove straight up there to Grand Canyon. And they only charge you a certain amount of money for your car. It's per car. It's not per people that are inside the car. So it's still affordable. It still is. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember one of our trips back from Texas, because back when my dad and grandfather were still alive and my uncle were still alive, we went to Texas every other year or so.
Right.
And one of our trips back, we stopped by the Grand Canyon just for shits and giggles, right?
Yeah.
We decided to take one of the free tours, and there's this outcropping of rocks.
Yes.
Where it's kind of like a giant wedge shape that juts out over the canyon.
Yeah.
And the tour guide was like, "Oh, people, if you want to, go ahead, lay down, look over the canyon. People have been doing it for years. It's not going to break. Sir, you might be a little too heavy for it." I went ahead and did it anyway. And the funniest part about it was Caddy was freaking out the entire time. You're like, "Dad,
God.
you shouldn't do it. You're going to break the rocks. You're too fat."
Oh, God.
And I'm sitting there laying down, my head hanging over the canyon rim, holding my arms out with my camera phone so I could take a picture of the canyon like that.
Yeah. You've heard about the Skywalk, right? That's the place. That's the one.
Yes. We didn't do that one, but yes, I have heard of it.
Okay, so my parents both go out there. Now, my mom is afraid. My mom is not a big height person. She's really afraid of heights. And I don't know, to this day, I still can't figure out how my dad was able to get my mom out there to walk on the damn thing. And I you know what? I think I partly blame myself, because Suzanne and I, we went to the CN Tower here in Toronto, in downtown, and I went up by myself. She stayed down because she has a problem with vertigo, so I totally understand. But I went up to the top by myself, and I went. There's this part there where you can actually stand on the tempered glass that does not break, and you can look down from that tempered glass all the way down to the very bottom of the tower itself.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh my God." I said, "If this thing did break, I'm dead. That's it. I'm instantly dead." And my mom said that when she was trying to get out there, and she's freaking out, my dad says, "Oh, don't slip, or don't let the glass break." My dad was just joking. It's not like she was, that he was making fun of her fear, but he was just trying to get her out. And she said, "Oh, no." She says, "I'm close enough. That's fine." My dad goes all the way out there to the end of it. Is literally looking down to the bottom of the canyon floor, and from there, and Colorado River. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." So if a wind, severe winds come up or something that can break that glass, you're gone. I don't know, but you wouldn't even have time to make your last will and testament. You're gone. So,
what's funny is
you'll never get me on
I
there.
I don't have like a fear of heights or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Except when it comes to like low heights, I'm kind of apprehensive about. I hate climbing ladders, because basically the way I look at it is, if I fall and I survive, then from a height I know I'll survive from, but I'll be badly injured. Then I'm worried.
Yeah.
But if I'm like at a height where I'm like, oh, if I fall, I'm dead, I'll be fine. I'm more afraid of getting paralyzed or badly injured than I am about dying.
Hey Richie, did you get to see when I was there with my wife? We got to see it. one of those rare what they call the California condor. You see, these are huge birds that are there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're endangered. Yeah, those are very cool. But I literally, when we went up there, there's these 3 Asian people that are trying to take pictures, and they're literally walking out to this outcropping. They have no idea. I mean, they don't know how slippery it can get. They don't know how, like the bird could get pissed off and, hit them with a wing and it knock them off and they go to their death, and just thought it was hilarious, and I wanted to say something, but I said, "Oh no, no, no! Yeah, let them find out the hard way. If the condor knocks you off, that's it. You're done." But I wasn't going to interfere, but I thought it was hilarious because the condor was just showing off. They don't always are out there, and they're rare. Like I said, they're endangered. So, to get to see one up close, I think that was very cool. And I was just sitting on a rock outcropping myself. So if I wanted, I could have just climbed
If I
over this.
remember correctly, the California condor is the bird with the largest wingspan today.
Yes, in North America, yeah, it is.
And I think it's in all the world right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sure, it is. Definitely. Well, I thought it was. It was huge. It looked like. Do you remember back in the when they taught us about dinosaurs, and there was this one bird called the Archaeopteryx? Okay, so the California condor is probably as close to the size of the Archaeopteryx as there were any other birds back.
I don't think you realize how small the Archaeopteryx actually is.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. So the condor is bigger than it was, and that was supposed to be.
Oh yeah, it's much. I think it's much bigger if I remember correctly. Hold on, I'm gonna turn on my internet so I can use my other phone to look stuff up.
Yeah, cool.
I'll probably end the stream in a few minutes anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's fine. I was gonna leave anyway soon myself, just to try to get some rest. He says, I spent 4 or 5 days, this is Richie, at Grand Canyon in February for my wedding anniversary more than a decade ago. It was an incredible range of weather experiences, clear days, partly cloudy days, warm, cold, rain, snow, all in 4 days. And Richie says, maybe, except for the pterodactyls of Jurassic Park. Yeah, Vile. Yeah.
Well, there's also the Quetzalcoatlus, the largest pterodactyl that ever flew.
Yeah.
Its standing height, like when it was actually on the ground, just on its feet, was the size of a giraffe.
Literally. Wow.
Yeah. So imagine a giraffe that could fly.
Yeah. Yes, imagine that. But you know what? The thing about the California condor is that even though it's huge like it is, it's still a beautiful bird. It really is. And I've seen when I was living in Colorado, I'd seen one of those bald eagles, the white bald eagles, which are beautiful too. They spread out just like the condor does every once in a while. Yeah, those are good.
So the Archaeopteryx is roughly the size of a modern raven.
Okay, it's about the size of a raven. That's pretty small then.
Wingspan. I'm just doing wingspan of a California condor.
Right.
Almost 10 feet, 9.5 feet.
Nice.
So I'm 6'2". That means its wingspan would be an additional more than 3 feet bigger than me. And how you doing, babe? I'm gonna be ending the stream soon anyway, but I'm glad you stopped by.
Hi, Marisol.
And I have seen, because I've had California condors both at the zoo and the San Diego Wild Animal Park, or whatever they call the Wild Animal Park now.
I've been there. The San Diego Wild Animal Park.
But I haven't gotten to see like one up close, but I'm talking about like within 20 feet or so.
Yeah.
And even then, it's between it's in the cage, which is netting. So it's not like I could reach out and touch it or anything like that.
Yeah, but see, I got to see the condor, no netting, on a rock outcropping, by itself with its wingspan completely spread, like completely spread open. It's rare. There's not a lot of tourists that get to see it year round, but I feel like both my wife and I were very blessed to see it. So I would have laughed if one or two of those Asian photographers that were trying to take pictures of it got out too far and they fell to their death. I know that sounds morbid, but I mean, I probably would have laughed my ass off and then said, "Hey, get away from that bird." You know?
All right.
Yeah.
I have to admit I was wrong. The wandering albatross does have a larger wingspan at 11 and a half feet.
Okay. Yeah, white albatross. Yeah, I've seen one. I've seen the California albatross actually.
So yeah, that is the one with the largest wingspan. I was wrong.
Yeah, but only slightly larger though. It's only slightly larger than the condor's size,
That's
and I
almost
think
two.
that
That's 2 feet.
yeah,
If you want to think about it, the inspiration. Have you ever seen the Rescuers Down Under?
yeah, I've seen it.
The eagle that is in that movie is, even though it takes place in Australia, is based off of the American golden eagle.
Right.
That wingspan is only about 7.5 feet.
Yeah.
So that means that the albatross is a full 4 feet larger wingspan than the bird that inspired the giant golden eagle from Rescuers Down Under.
Right.
So just to think about how large these freaking birds are.
Yeah. It's too bad I never got to see the golden eagle, but I've seen a bald eagle.
I've seen plenty of bald eagles. They're not often here in Southern California, but I have seen them.
Yeah.
The funniest bit is, okay, like if you see in a movie or something, they show a golden or a bald eagle. Sorry, one of the things they'll play is that eagle sound. That uh, the quintessential eagle sound.
Yeah. Something like that. I can't.
All right, but the actual sound that the bald eagles make is nothing like that. That's actually
Right.
the sound of a red-tailed hawk.
Yeah.
And what's even funnier is the red-tailed hawk is smaller than the bald eagle, but
Much smaller.
they
Yeah.
tend to attack bald eagles and win fairly often.
Yeah, that's bizarre for red-tailed hawks to be able to do that. Well, is it because
Those things are
probably they're
mean.
faster? Well, no. Is it because because of their size, they're a lot faster in their attacks? It's more of a well. It's like in California, you've seen lots of seagulls, right? Obviously, I mean we've seen them here, but a seagull swoops in real quick when they're trying to get food from someone. They drop something or they try to get. I've seen a seagull take somebody's keys to his car on a beach. It's hilarious. They think it's food, and then they come down and they swoop down. And they got this guy's keys. He had them in his hand. Who's stupid enough to put your keys in your hand? Keep them in your pocket or keep them somewhere else, but don't show the keys off. I guess because it caught the glint of the sunlight, and one of the seagulls came down and grabbed his keys. That's
All right,
my
well,
God.
I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'll end it like a CNA stream. Since we were talking about the Arizona and all the heat, I say we hear some sunshine. How about you?
Sounds good to me.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray.
You'll never know, dear,
How much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Buy
What? It
buy
didn't play.
something at SD Game Swap, or I'm going to put all of you in a cargo container and transport you to the Borg.
All right, there we go. All right. I'll catch you later, man. Bye.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me again. I feel honored and blessed every time you invite me up.
Thanks for making so I'm not talking to myself for 2 hours.
You're welcome. We'll talk to you next time.